Hey y'all, RyRy McGUY here. You can call me Ryan, and welcome to my Flosstube channel. Today is Friday, May the 6th, and we're recording Flosstube number 6 today, so we've got lucky 6. So thanks for popping by. If you're new here, welcome. It's kind of a little oasis here where we talk about cross stitch, we talk about sewing occasionally, we talk about some knitting, we talk about our pets. I don't know if you can see Stanley here. He's kind of keeping me company, working hard, doing his snooze. So yeah, so welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for putting up with me, and thank you again for all the comments and the likes and subscribing. On my last Flosstube, I talked about hitting 1,000 subscribers, and that honestly, that's nothing I would have imagined. So I'm truly grateful for that. And in connection with that, I announced a giveaway, and I will be sharing with you the winner later on, as I've got a pile of my projects here that I'm going to go through, and it's somewhere on this big tray that I've got. So when I get to it, we'll talk about the giveaway. What else have I got to say? Oh, back to subscribers too. I really want to say thank you so much to the Flosstubers who mentioned me in their own videos. Stitchman Darcy, for one. I'll put his contact information below, and he's got a great channel, really funny, yeah, really funny. And I'm not a beer connoisseur by any stretch, and I really don't do any full coverage at all, at least not yet. So I think we're both Canadian, so we've got that in common, and we both like movies, and we both love Ellen, and we both love Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery, and he's also a designer now, so please check out his Etsy account. He's got more than one design now, and he's working on some smallish ones as well. So I've got my eye on a cat, actually, that I want to stitch on, and it is, I think it is a full coverage, but I guess I'll know when I download it. So anyways, yeah. Oh, and Laura and Brenda, down at Brenda and the Serial Starter, their Flosstube channel. I know someone told me I made it to index card status, so I was absolutely thrilled and delighted to achieve, or to reach that benchmark. So if you're swinging by from their channel, yeah, I think I love their projects. I love the charts that they acquire and work on, and I think we might have some stuff in common. So yeah, hang around and see if there's anything I show you that you might be interested in. Oh, and in conjunction with hitting 1,000 subscribers, in my last video, I announced a giveaway of a chart, a quirky Quakers chart, and some floss from Brenda Needle, and I had the opportunity to meet them at Stitch North, and I fell in love with their stuff, so I thought I would kind of share it with you. And so when I work my way through my pile of stuff here and I get to it, we'll announce the winner. So that's what we've got. Okay, so let's tuck in and work our way through this this pile I've got here. The first thing I wanted to show you, actually the first two things, were items that I had finished but not fully finished in my last video. The first one being little La-Di-Da, and how's that? I La-Di-Da, this is Sweet Pea by La-Di-Da, and I put, the last time we spoke, I didn't fully finish his bottom yet. I had to decide what I was going to weight it down with, and I decided to choose some pennies, because I mean, up in Canada we we don't use pennies here anymore, and I've got a stash of them. So yeah, it's actually it's really quite funny the way it works. I've never done this with a stuffed item before, and yeah, it really helps it stay stable. And I tied a little ribbon around his neck. I trimmed his tail. I gave his tail a little haircut, and with this fellow, he's I'm gonna stitch a companion for him, the Samplar hair, and I think for that one I'm actually gonna follow the included directions. This one I kind of went off on my own, and I was really struggling with the ear. It turned out great. I love it, but it was a struggle. So I think for his companion, I'll follow the directions and be a good boy. So it's my little sampler hair, or my sweet pea. What else? Another thing that I showed you last video was a little knitting project that I was working on. It's an amigurumi character, and it's a cat in a box. It's by a woman. Her business name is Mochi Land, and she does these sweet little characters. And you'll notice he doesn't have any ears. He does have his little heart. He's got a heart on one side of him, and his little white tail there. And yeah, I was really struggling with the ears, and I just kind of had to put it down and walk away. I think I must have tried about 4 or 5 times, and yeah, so it's gonna need a timeout for a little bit. If you have a cat, chances are likely that they might enjoy cardboard boxes, and Stanley can't get enough of them. Like he really can't. So when I saw this, I just LOL'd. And it's to the point now where we just leave them out, and he'll hop in them automatically. Speaking of knitting, again, I love the comments that everyone is making on the videos. It's really fantastic, and I love the information that you're sharing. And I wanted to mention this previously, but I think in my very first video I talked about some I-cords, an I-cord that I made to connect to my mittens that my mother knit for me, so they don't go missing, because I have a tendency to lose stuff like that. And so my mom called it an idiot string. And I thought that was not the right name for it, so we'll just say that. And I have to say thank you for the people who came to my mother's defense and corrected me. They mentioned Elizabeth Zimmerman. Sorry, I just have a few notes here. So she really kind of popularized this I-cord, and I think they made reference to her actually saying that I stood for idiot cord. So, Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. We'll go with idiot string. That's fine. We can live with that. And speaking of moms, she came to visit in the month of April. She stayed for a week, and we had a great time. We even had a crafternoon with Ellen. She came over to do some stitching. My mom's a big knitter, and so we kept her busy darning some socks. So yeah, so it was nice to have her. It's been a while since I saw her, so it's great to have the company. I actually was trying to figure out how I could get her to make an appearance on the video, and yeah, I just didn't think that would be a success. She would not be interested, so I didn't even bother with that. Anyways, idiot string, we can call it a mitten saver too. What else have I got? Oh, another finish. Well, kind of, I think since my last video, I started and finished a project. The Jeannette Douglas mini bouquets. They're very easy to stitch. This is the month of April. Jeannette Douglas April mini bouquet. It's a part of a Oh, you can see me doing some little swatching and testing here. There we go. Yeah, colors are pretty good. Yeah, that's about right. I do my own conversions for these. It's part of a Use It Up challenge that I have with Hand Dyed by Rolanda. I've got a bunch of her Floss of the Month Club flosses, and I've really been enjoying using these on the project. The big question, I've not decided how to finish it, and I don't want to say that there's a certain amount of pressure, but there's a certain amount of pressure. I really had a fun time finishing January and February and March, and this ended up being a little bit bigger than expected, so I'm not quite sure how I will finish it. I think I'll pick up this octagonal shape here and kind of give it a Quaker vibe, maybe a pincushion, or maybe with a little pocket on the back to keep a pair of scissors, and yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. Further to this too, I received a little package in the mail, and it's from Hillery. She has a Flosstube channel called Rustic Thread Stitching, and she is promoting a hashtag. I'm sorry, Hillary, I can't remember the full details. If you started this hashtag or if you're following along with it, it's called hashtag Stitch Kit Pass, and I think that this was part of it, but I made a comment on one of her Instagram posts, because she's stitching the mini bouquets as well. I made a comment that I really loved it, and I'd never stitched with the Vicky Clayton silk before, so she was kind enough to send me a little package with some beautiful linen, and I think it was around, when I did the count, it came to about 42, 44 count, in that neighborhood. I don't know anything about it. It's kind of a beigey gray. I do know she dyes her own linen, so I don't know. This might be one that she dyed. I'm going to have to get on the horn with her and find out. And the flosses, the Vicky Clayton flosses, her website now, it's called handdyedfibers.com. I'll post it below. And so she sent me a bunch of beautiful silks. So I look forward to trying these out. I've never, like I said, I've never used them before. I've used some Au Ver Soie. I've used the Almond M&M silk. And yeah, so for the month of May, I will be stitching. So I guess this is sort of a new start. Yeah. So this upcoming month of May, that's the Mini-Bouquet. And I really love this. I mean, I like them all, but this one is quite special, and I think it'll be great stitched up in these silks. I think I've got all the colors here that I kind of did a match, and I might be missing one. I'll try to substitute with one from my stash, but stay tuned. I should have this finished. I should have that finished for next time. And oh well, more mail. Happy mail. My Crazy Life. Lori Sykes, My Crazy Life. Check her out. She's such a doll, and she's a big animal lover too. She loves cats. I got to meet her at Stitch North, the retreat up here in Ontario, and she was kind enough to send me a couple little mini skeins of some yarn. I thought that was really sweet. Oh, opal. There we are. A couple little mini skeins. And she made the most cutest little cat toy. It's a sock. Yeah. It's a sock. And it's sewn closed, and it's stuffed with catnip. So I don't wanna wiggle it around too much. I'm just gonna wake him. But Yeah, that was so sweet of her. She sent me two. One I immediately put away. Stanley just he literally tore through the tissue to get at this when he saw it. So yeah, it's and you know what? I mean, this has all of the details that you would see in a regular Scott. I mean, it's got the ribbing on the top. It's got the special reinforced stitch heel. I'm sorry, I can't remember what it's called. That's a bird reference, not a bird in the eye, some kind of bird reference, I think. It's got the short turn, it's got the gusset, the decreases, and it might even have a little Kitchener toe. So really, this is like a regular sock, made miniature and turned into a cat toy. So thank you, Lori. I really appreciate it, and I can't tell you how much Stanley loves them. Well, another piece of happy mail that I got was, you guys are so sweet, like really, absolutely angels. This is from Desiree down in Orlando, and she's someone else I met at Stitch North. Such a lovely group of people, and she sent me a card. Technically, I guess it's a birthday card, since my birthday was last month, and she included wrote a lovely note, and she had included her favorite floss, classic Colorworks Belle Soie, and this. Again, I'm just learning to knit with silks, and so she said this stitches like butter, so I look forward to trying it. And she also included two of her favorite needles that she loves to use, and they're called, I think these are Easy Glide. Let me just... Yeah, Easy Glide needles. And I've actually seen these. They're not the cheapest of the bunch, and what makes them unique here, I have no idea if you guys are gonna see this at all, but no, that's not, well, maybe you could see on the tip of the needle there's a little ball, and the theory behind this is it helps push the fibers of your textile away, and kind of create a bigger hole through which you can put your floss, so hence Easy Glide. I wasn't sure about how this ball would work, because when I'm tying off my threads at the back, I like to slip it underneath the threads and then just snip it. So I wasn't sure how easy this would go underneath those already stitched threads. I wasn't sure how this would work with Ada. I wasn't sure how this would work on doing a pin stitch start on linen. But you know what? We're gonna find out. So thank you, Desiree. Thank you so much. I will definitely be using this silk with this needle on a project coming up soon. Okay, what else do we have? Oh yes, we have my stitch along hashtag is RyRy's first Sal. RyRy's first Sal. And it is courtesy of Bendy Stitchy Designs, if you know Michelle Garrett of Michelle Bendy Stitchy. And she created this beautiful chart, one that really sparked a lot of joy for me to see. And it is 1844 Ladyman. This is a reproduction of an historical sampler, and I swear I've never seen anything like this. I don't know if I ever will, but I was so happy and excited to start stitching this. So that was kind of like my birthday start in a way. So let's just show you how far I got. So the flosses that I'm using, I'm not using the called for. Again, part of my Use It Up challenge, I've got a bunch of some overdyed flosses. I've got some DMC, and I think because I'm using a different color linen, I had to tweak a bit of the colors a bit. But and this little floss, what is that? Floss ring with the charms. Thank you, Nicky Noodle. Thank you. She sent this to me for my birthday. So, yeah, I got some really lovely Stitchy related items for my birthday. And rather than boring you with them all right now, I'll just bring them up as I introduce them through projects as I use them. So thank you, Nicky Noodle, for the beautiful floss ring and charms. So yeah, so this is the color palette that we're using for Lady Man, and this is how far I got. Oh, you know what? I didn't exactly prep it, but I didn't get too far. That's how far I got. Let's get the thread out of the way. That's how far I got. So my little mansion, my little pied-à-terre, whatever you want to call it, with a little arbor filled with berries. What's really interesting about this one, let's see if I can get close enough. The bottom, the green stitching that you see here, I guess technically you'd call it a tent stitch. It's not a full cross, it's just one side. But every row, the direction is alternating, so you kind of have this sort of oscillating wave effect, and the whole bottom, the whole base of the chart here is done in that technique. So it makes it go by really quickly, and it's really enjoyable to do. So yeah, so this is where I am with my RyRy's first Sal. And I'd love to see how you're doing. Use the hashtag if you so care to. And one thing too, I talked about needles. I talk about needles a lot, as you know. And I tried using some needles from, I've got them here. I've tried using some needles from the Cross Stitch Guild, and it's the Blue Perfect Needle Collection. And they're beautiful gold plated, and they're guaranteed not to wear off. And I actually, you know, I'm not going to say anything negative about them, but I had a challenge, and I'm not, maybe you guys can help me out here if you've had the same experience. But with these needles, it kind of frayed at the eye. It kind of frayed the floss, and the eye, I don't know if it's the gold plating, I don't know if it's the size that I used, but the eye of the needle was so tight, even when I couldn't thread it by eye, and usually I can thread floss through almost any eye of needle, and this one I couldn't, so I had to use my little needle threader, and it actually would break the floss. It was so tight it would break the floss. And you know, granted, I'm using 2 strands, but even 1 strand, it really kind of ate away and wore through that spot where the floss was touching the needle, if I did manage to thread it successfully. So I stopped. These might work better in a different type of floss. You know, even with overdye, I thought maybe that might make the floss a little more fragile, but no, even just regular DMC, I was having that same trouble. So yeah, I'm not gonna get rid of these yet. I'm gonna hang on to them. I'm gonna try with silk. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see if that makes a difference. So that's my Lady Man. Another project that I'm working on. You know, I love modern folk embroidery, and I don't think I've shared anything yet on this channel for modern folk embroidery. My biggest project actually to date is a modern folk embroidery, the stitch along. It wasn't a mystery stitch along, but it was an annual stitch along for the year 2020. Maybe it's finished. Maybe I'll show it when I get it into a frame. But anyways, Jacob started stitching one of his new designs, and it's called, where do I have it? Sorry for the poor print quality. Modern Folk Embroidery, Halsingland, Blommor. Please forgive my pronunciation. Loved it. I absolutely loved it. He was stitching it on a very, very high thread count, and it was tiny. And of course, you know, I'm really not that competitive, but I kind of rose to the challenge, and I'm stitching this on a 25 count Lugana. It's just a cream, and that's where I got so far. I'm doing over 1, so if you're sorry, this is my grind guard. I actually hacked off the bottom of an old t-shirt and put some elastics around it, so it was just a little too big for my hoop here. So anyways, I'm doing over one pulled strand of Leo and Roxy Falu Red. It's the first time I'm using it, and I really absolutely love it. So I don't know if you can tell. I know so many stitchers are using it and love it, but the shading is so subtle, and there are little pops of a lighter red. You can see in the center of that top flower. Barely. Yeah, this camera's not doing a very good job. It looks a lot more vivid in real life. But this is such a charming stitch. I absolutely love his charts. They're complex, but the layout is very predictable in a way that you don't need to constantly refer to the chart every 2 or 3 stitches. You know, once you figure out the direction of the motif or the design, you just run with it. And yeah, I didn't have to frog a single stitch. It's really, really easy. I really enjoyed it, and I look forward to taking this further. But we are in May. And what does May mean for us? It means Stitch Mania. Stitch Mania. I don't know if it's something formal still anymore, but everyone kind of ran with that theme, and I think, did it start doing 1 new start a day for the month of May? Don't quote me, I could be wrong. But I think it kind of evolved into doing whatever you kind of wanted, some sort of challenge or mini challenge over the course of the month of May. There's sort of a bit of a mania involved. I think a lot of the challenges were quite ambitious. And my challenge I started last year is my biggest project to date. And as you've seen, I do a lot of smaller projects. And the project I chose for Stitch Mania is my biggest to date. It measures 499 stitches wide by 499 stitches deep. So, yeah, what is it? Well, let's show you. If you're a fan, you probably recognize that number. It's a pretty specific number. This is here. Let's pull out the project bag. Is that an ASMR moment? Sorry. The project for my Stitch Mania: 101 Alphabets by Rosewood Manor. I love Karen's stuff so much, like so much. I absolutely love it. I find some of the designs a bit challenging in terms of the amount of color change, because I'm not that keen on color change. I like just running with it. But her charts are worth it. I don't mind suffering through the frequent color changes. This is a book, guys. This is a book. There are 54 pages to this design. It's got 101 alphabets, hence 101 alphabets. And yeah, it's a beautiful project book, and she has a lot of other little borders, pin cushions you can make, monograms. Yeah, she's just encouraging you to be creative. And what's great about this, I mean, I've got a reference for 101 alphabets. So if I'm working on a project and I need an alphabet, I know where to go. So and this is also the first project that I'm using one of these. It's my first project that has this many colors, and I'm sorry, I really can't remember what it's called. I got this one off Amazon. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's got 30 slots, so slots for 30 different colors, 30 different skeins of floss. We're using 29 here, so I can't remember if I was missing one or I had to borrow one. No, there's no symbol. So yeah, there's 29 different colors in this chart. This I love, it's perfect. You can do that little technique where you slip your needle into just one pulled strand and slide it out. It's perfect. And where am I? Oh, so my challenge for Stitch Mania was to stitch one alphabet a day for the month of May. So for the year 2021, I actually succeeded. Oh, I'm not used to holding up a project this big, so let's see how this goes. So for 2021, I did 31 alphabets in 31 days. For 2022, I'm trying to do the same, and I'm already 4 alphabets behind, and we are May the 6th. So this is where I am. Should I back up? Is that all of it? Yeah. Wow. Okay, that doesn't look so big after all. So, anyway, it's I started in the upper left and went all the way across. I'm not stitching any of the motifs at this time. I thought I can go ahead and add them in later. That might be a separate project on its own. But yeah, it's really been fun. I have to say, it's a commitment. This is definitely a commitment project, and I thought by knowing that this will be a long-term project for me, I'll feel more comfortable approaching it. And by stitching them just one alphabet at a time, it's like taking little bits and pieces at a time, so just slowly eating away at it. And if you love alphabets, definitely check out this chart if you don't already have it. I will say you should really like doing a backstitch or holbein stitch. There are a lot of backstitched alphabets in this collection, and I love it. I love the effect. This was my May starts here, the one down below, and then this one here. So it's a pretty big alphabet. It did take me more than one day, but again, love the colors, love the design. I'm really looking forward to doing another 31 alphabets. So yeah, it's going to take me 4 or so years, but that's okay. I don't mind. Where am I going? Okay, I think that's all the stitching I have. So because I've committed to doing this for the month of May, I'm not going to be able to work on the other projects that I've shown, and I'm definitely not starting anything new. But I did get a couple of charts, so I guess we can call this haul. I did pick up a couple charts. Oh, since we're talking about Rosewood Manor, I picked up 2 more charts from her, Spring Hill. I don't know how long these have been out, to be honest. Oh, here, copyright copyright 2020. This is copyright 2022. We've got Spring Hill and we've got Autumn Hill. There we are. And I love the band sampler concept, and she's just running with this here. They're really fun. The colors are so beautiful. It's a nice size. Again, there's going to be a lot of colors, a lot of color changes, but there's also a lot of background, so it's not just solid stitching. It's got bunnies and squirrels and birds, and this one has sheep. So yeah, I don't know when I'll be able to start these. I haven't even begun to kit them up or anything, so that's okay. They will stay in my new charts folder, my unkitted folder, and they'll probably be there for a little bit. I think I have enough to work through. Another item that I bought online, and this one I don't know if you've seen before. I'm holding it up here, but what I think I'll do, I'll put a larger image up here. It's from the Halsingland Educational Museum in the UK, and this is James Wilson's 1828 sampler. And so this was stitched by a 12-year-old boy. So I mean, how sweet is that? There aren't a lot of stitches done by male stitchers, at least that I'm aware of, and this is pretty much only one of two that I've heard of. So that were stitched by boys. So of course I had to have it. Yeah, of course I had to have it. You can buy it online, and the funds go towards supporting this educational museum. So that's awesome. Absolutely loved it. Again, this is going to sit in my new stash pile for a while before I even look at kitting that up. And okay, I almost forgot about this. It's my last bit of haul that I'll be sharing with you today, and I actually took it out of the packaging because the crinkling was just a little too much, and definitely not ASMR. So, you know, I am a fan of Timber Yarns, and they are participating in a program called Be a Freaking Unicorn. It's a little, check out their Instagram. I'll put it here, and it's once a year for the month of May. It's a group of independent dyers get together, and they create a few special items for the month of May, kind of with a unicorn theme, and part of the proceeds go towards an LGBTQ plus organization that they chose to support. So Timber Yarns did a mini collection of unicorn-inspired yarns. This one is called Let Your Outer Unicorn Dance, and I just, when I opened the envelope, I mean, it was just so beautiful to see these juicy, this is all the same color actually, Let Your Outer Unicorn Dance. It's all the same color. I wanted in 3. You could also buy a larger skein. The palette is the same, but I thought having 3 skeins might just give me more flexibility. I can also maybe give them away. And I also, for the first time, I got a sock blossom from them. And look at this. Isn't that beautiful? There's easily enough. It's approximately 400 meters of yarn. It's all fingering. It's a combination. It's a superwash merino and nylon. And again, I just absolutely love these colors. I thought they might. And a little progress keeper. Always be a unicorn. Always be a unicorn. And I thought that these colors would be fun to maybe make a sort of little window panes or panels on a larger piece, like a scarf that might have some black or gray dividing lines, just to kind of put a little break in these colors. But I just can't. I have no idea what I'm going to stitch with them. But I had to buy them, and they, of course, hot chocolate. Oh, here's some plastic. Pink colored white hot chocolate mix. It's a color changing blend, and unicorn. Can't go wrong with a unicorn. So please check out the Instagram account if you're into yarn and supporting good causes. Please have a look at one of the indie dyers that are participating in this program. And I am at the end. I'm at the end of my pile. We are now going to talk about the giveaway. Quirky Quaker Mousse. So I mentioned we'll be giving away Quirky Quaker Mousse chart. It's a really sweet chart. The whole collection is adorable. I've got, I think, five of them that I love to stitch up, and they're quick and easy, I think. So they're not going to wait around too long. I like stitching the smalls. So and this is a good example of what a small is. Darcy, that's a small. And the floss is, again, like I said, from Brenda Needle. So we'll be including that in the package as well. And I did a random comment picker online, and the lucky recipient is Laura Saint. I left a comment. I left a reply to your comment, and please feel free to send me an email with your address, contact information, so I can get this off to you. I think you're in the UK, and so yeah, it's gonna hop across the pond. I don't know how quickly it'll get to you, but I look forward to sending it out to you. So that's it. I think that's it. For plans for the month of May, I'm working on my 101 alphabets. We're going to be doing 32 through, I don't know, 63. So yeah, I think that will keep me busy for a while. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining me again, and I hope you managed to get some stitching done while you're here for a visit, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, take care, be well, and see you next time.